All right, good morning, everybody. Y'all give me just a moment. I'm getting set up. I'm a little bit late because I was had a bunch of carriers I had to work some stuff out for this morning. Share this out real quick. I do apologize for being late this morning, but I do run a dispatch firm, and had a bunch of carriers that were. I was finding a lot of dedicated for some carriers that wasn't on dedicated. I was finding and putting them on dedicated this morning. So it took me a little bit longer because I had to contact the brokers, have a conference with each of the brokers, and set those dedicated up. Y'all give me a moment while I share this out. I'll give you just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and go live here in just a second. I'm just sharing this out real quick so other media platforms can join us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Just put the word out. We'll get started here in just a moment. All right, one more place, then we'll be done. All right, y'all give me just 1 second, and I am going to go, gotta let my dog back in. Y'all give me just 1 minute, and I gotta let the dogs back in, and I'll be right back. Morning, AJ. Go sit down. Come on now. Go sit down, okay? My dog, AJ. My other pit bull. All right. Now go sit down. I got work to do. I got work to do. All right. Let's go ahead and before I get started, let me set up my screen. Set up everything for finding the freight that we need. Yeah. All right, let me start my recording and we'll get started. Appreciate y'all for being patient with me this morning. All right, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? This is Calvin Butler, and I am a little bit late this morning with the load board report, but this is Calvin Butler with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network, and this is the load board report. This is a daily review of what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability on the load boards, where we do live load board searches and we find loads for carriers and owner operators who are in need of freight. So if you got the right phone, you sure got the right phone. Yeah, there we go. Gotta be able to receive the calls when y'all call in for freight. Okay. So this morning, if you need a load, if you are a owner operator or a lease operator or a dispatcher out there who needs a load, give me a call, 866-973-6445, and I will look up you freight live, and find you the freight and give it to you for free. That's right. We give away free freight doing the load board report. Now, normally my dispatch firm charges 10% in our normal operations, but for the purpose of this show and this broadcast, we give away free freight. Okay? Free. Absolutely free. In a capital F-R-E-E. Free. Okay, so that's what we do. Just give away stuff. Just give away stuff. All right. The load board report is sponsored by, I'm going to start sharing my screen real quick. Of course, the load board report is sponsored by the National Dispatchers Network and the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers. Okay, our learning center is an actual logistics vocational school located here in Tallahassee, Florida. It's kind of looking at our beautiful campus right there, area where our students kind of hang out, talk to each other, study, whatever they want to do. But we're located here in Tallahassee, Florida, and it is an actual logistics vocational school for freight broker agents and dispatch agents. Okay, now we have the only vocational school that offers guaranteed career placement after course completion. That's right. Everyone who graduates from our course is guaranteed a position with freight brokerage firms, bonded freight brokerage firms, and state licensed dispatch firms. Because all of our instructors who come to our school to teach are all owners of freight brokerage firms or owners of state licensed dispatch firms. We're the first in the country, the only one in the country that does that. That does it. No one else offers guaranteed career placement. Okay, so that's how we're set up. So if you can afford the tuition, or if you have a sponsor who can help you get the tuition, or if you with some type of government agency and they will sponsor you, log on to our site at theRBBSLLC.com or theRBBSLLC.org and go ahead and register for our course and get set up. We also have financing available for our student tuitions. The tuition is $7,500, and that includes all your travel expenses, your hotel accommodation, and all your meals while you're here. We even give you 4 Uber and Lyft ride vouchers per day while you are here at our school. All right, and it's also sponsored by the National Dispatchers Network, which is our online home training platform, training in the convenience of your home. Our online platform will train you to earn 100K plus per year from home dispatching freight and provide the online network, tools, resources, and training to ensure your success. When students join our online platform, they get access to a whole bunch of stuff that nobody else grants them access to. Our students do not have to pay for load boards because we give them access to more than 100 load boards. Our students do not have to pay for, operational training videos because we give them access to more than 140,000 hours of operational training videos. Our students does not have to pay for direct shippers list, these so-called direct verified shippers list, because we give them access to all 19 million plus registered shippers in the United States. We give this stuff. It comes with your subscription. No need for you to pay for it. It's given to you as part of your subscription plan with us. We also give you access to every registered owner operator in the United States. You'll be able to look them up, call them up, hit them with the pitch, how much money you need to move your truck, get them signed up to a dispatch agreement, which we provide the pitch, we provide the dispatch agreement that you need to get them signed up to. We provide all your documents, contracts, and your agreement forms, everything you're gonna need to run your dispatch firm or your freight brokerage firm. You also get live training with us. Every Thursday night, we have live training for dispatch training. Every Saturday morning, we have live broker training. And you also get access to our logistics library that has every word, phrase, and term ever used in trucking. And you get access to our network of more than 2,967 plus industry professionals. Now, that's where it's really at. Because not only do we allow the students to talk to each other, we allow y'all to network with all our other industry professionals who are in the industry, and you all get to learn from each other, help each other to find and book freight, help each other to make money, help each other to be successful. So that's what it means to be a part of the RBBS National Dispatcher Network. Okay. Now we have different enrollment options. Enrollment goes anywhere from $349.95 plus tax on your initial enrollment fee and $39.95 per month plus tax, or it can be your veterans enrollment, $249.95 plus tax on your enrollment fee and $29.95 per month to access all the stuff we just talked about. And we also have a platinum membership, premium membership, which is just $99.95 per month. There is no upfront enrollment fee, just your monthly membership fee. It includes everything that we just talked about, plus you get access to 3 hours of private consultations with me every month. That's $300 value. Why? Because we charge $100 an hour for private consultations. All right. So there you have it. That's what we're sponsored by. That's what the Load Board Report is sponsored by. Now let me get on with the Load Board Report. And I do apologize because I am a little bit late. And let's go ahead and check in with my people over here on YouTube to see what we got going on. See what's going on YouTube. Who do we have this morning on YouTube? We have D. Willer. Good morning, D. Willer. Michelle Eatman. Good morning, Michelle. How you doing? And D. Willer is from Dublin, Georgia to Texas. Oh, he wants to find a load. He jumps on quick early this morning. Want to know where that load coming from? Dublin, Georgia to Texas. Well, I'm going to look that up for you here in just a moment, D. Willer. And we got a total of 5 people watching on YouTube, waiting for the rest of them to check in as you come on. Please just check in with us, say hi, and say good morning. I'll say good morning back. Okay. Now, I do apologize for my being late this morning, and I'm gonna briefly tell y'all why I was late. I was working. Okay, I am a dispatcher. I do dispatch freight. I do have my own dispatch firm. So, I was working this morning. So, hey, it is what it is. I have to run my dispatch firm just like everyone else does too. So I was working this morning and got up at about 4 o'clock this morning, was looking for freight for my carriers who are not on dedicated. I have a lot of carriers who are on dedicated, and we have the internship program, which has really just started ramping back up because of, here in Florida, we don't have a COVID shutdown. Our governor has decided. Now, I'm not a Ron DeSantis fan. I didn't vote for the man. I think he has I think he's kind of boneheaded, but he does
do some good things every now and then. And one of the good things he did was he did not shut down the state again for this new COVID variant or whatever it can be. Now, I'm a big proponent of vaccination. I'm a big fan of Dr. Fauci. I'm not a big fan of Ron DeSantis, but I do agree with him. And he's a Republican, and I'm a Democrat. And I do agree with him on his decision to keep the state open and, just go ahead and mandate for businesses to make sure that people are wearing their masks, they're socially distanced, that type of stuff, getting your vaccinations. But he did not shut down the state this time for this new variant that came out. And that was a good decision because in doing so, that allowed us to, kind of businesses to kind of stay open, people to kind of get their lives back on track and do the things that they need to do. So this morning, what I was doing, I was working this morning. I was finding my carriers who are not on dedicators and the ones who are not with interns, because we utilize the internship programs here at Florida State, FAMU, and University of Florida. We use the intern program for the interns to actually, work as dispatch agents, as part of the internship, and they dispatch freight, in the morning. They get up in the morning just like, our normal, dispatchers would do, and they dispatch freight. Now, using the internship program is a great way to go, but you have to be set up properly because they evaluate your business. They put you to a very strict and stringent evaluation. Everything about your business has to be on point, has to be up and up, everything has to check out. You've got to be, licensed. You've got to be properly registered with the state. You got to give them a copy of your articles of incorporation. You have to pass a business credit check. You have to, all this stuff you have to do before they would allow the interns to take part in your online program or your program of working with your company. So if you want to explore that, by all means, it is a great way to run your business, to get a lot of great help without having to pay a whole lot of money. Okay. Now, you do have to give up some of your time because you have to evaluate or fill out an evaluation form on the interns every month. You have to fill out an evaluation form, or as they say, semester. You have to fill out an evaluation form and evaluate them so that their school and their curriculum can look at your evaluation and assign them, I guess, a grade for their internship, assign them, how they're doing on the internship. And it is a great way to get to staff your business is through interns. So that's how we do it with my dispatch firm. Now, I have some carriers who are not under the interns, and I have carriers who are not on dedicators. Those carriers, I have to get up every morning like every other dispatcher, and I have to call them up, assess where they're at, and find them loads and get them running. I have to prep them like any other dispatcher would do with their carriers, okay? And this morning, it was a good morning, a great morning. I was able to set up 12 carriers this morning. Count them, 12 on dedicated lanes, which means I had to actually set those dedicated lanes up. I had to go through the process, just like I do here with you all. I show you how to do it. I had to go through the process of, finding the three loads. Most of them were three-run loads because most of my carriers that I was doing this for, they're either here in Florida, Texas, and I think I had a couple in, what was that? I think it was Arkansas. No, Pennsylvania. So it was Pennsylvania. So Florida, Texas, and Pennsylvania is where the carriers were. Most of them were here in Florida. About 2 or 3 of them were in Texas, and the other one was in Pennsylvania. So, but I had a total of 12 carriers on operate this morning that I set up on dedicated lanes this morning, and every last one of them were above $400,000 in yearly revenue when I set these up. So if you look at what their yearly revenue is going to be from those lanes, every last one of them was above $450,000. Okay, even my dry vans, they were like around about 468. A couple of them were around 525, 40, and I had 2 reefers that I set up this morning. They were up close to the $750,000, $800,000 per year on their revenue when I finished setting those up. and my flatbeds were hanging around 650, 670, somewhere around there in their yearly revenue on their, their free run. Now, a lot of my flatbeds had two connections where they were running up and then back, but it still was on great money. But some of them had the three connection where I like to set up. I like to set my dedicated up in what I call the triangle, where they go up, down, then back across to where they were, and they're back home every night, off every weekend, and making great money. Okay, so I was able to set up 12 doing that this morning, which is going to boost my revenue. Now, what I had a great morning. I had a great morning. Setting up carriers on dedicated, I just boosted my revenue from 12 carriers. My cut, of course, is 10%. So my revenue is averaging around $58,000 a year from all of them, for each carrier. So you can do the math on that, because my lowest one was around $480,000, $460,000, which were a dry van. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I had like about 2 or 3 dry vans that were hanging around the 460, 480. So that's $46,000 right there per year from me, $46,000 to $48,000. My reefers, who I set up on close to 770, 760, up there, that's $76,000 a year from my reefers. So that's 2 reefers that I set up this morning, where I'm going to be making an extra $70,000, $70,000+ per year from each one of those reefers. My flatbeds, I'm averaging an extra $62,000 a year, because they're now set up on those dedicated. And of course, my So, y'all do the math on that. So you can understand why I'm late this morning. That's why I'm late this morning, because I literally just set my company up. Now, I'm set up as an S corp, which means my company revenue and me personally, we have different types. My income is different. Okay, I have corporate revenue, which gets handled under my corporate tax. Then I have my personal revenue, of what I pay myself from my company. Now, all that money you just saw that I just put together, that's for my corporation, RBBS Transport. That's for my corporation. Okay. Now, how do I pay myself each year? I pay myself like I'm a regular employee. Yes, I'm a CEO, but I'm an employee of my company. I have myself set for my personal revenue. I gave myself a raise this year, by the way. I have myself set at just over $300,000 a year. That's my personal income from the money that my corporation makes. Okay, so that's how I do it. The first year, my income from me personally was around 120, 100 and some $1,000 the first year I started dispatching freight. The second year, my income was around about 140. I think I gave myself a raise to $140,000 to $144,000. My third year, I gave myself another raise, which was in 2021. I gave myself in 2020. I'm sorry. I gave myself another raise in 2020, and I'll pay myself around 178,000 or 180, somewhere around 179,000 is what I paid myself in 2020. And then in 2021, I gave myself another raise, because I'm getting ready to do my taxes now. I haven't done them yet, but I gave myself another raise, and my raise is going up to close to 300, just over $300,000, because my corporate revenue has been growing and growing and growing, especially since I started doing these dedicateds. Okay, that's what's really been fueling my corporate revenue, is the insertion and the creation of these dedicated lanes that I put together for my carriers as I'm looking for freight, and I'm finding these short runs, and I call these brokers, and we set up these Zooms for the brokers, and then I let the brokers know that my carrier, the guy, can run those loads every day, and they go ahead and enter into a contract with me, and bam, we got a dedicated lane. Whoa. So that's how we do the dedicated lane. So that's what I was doing this morning. I couldn't miss that opportunity. I mean, I was finding dedicateds all over the place. So, And when you have that situation, when you're finding those dedicated, you gotta capitalize on them. You gotta capitalize on them. What does this mean for my business? For my business, this means almost an extra $2 million in revenue per year. That's right, y'all. This morning, before 7:30 a.m., before 7 a.m. this morning, before 6 a.m. this morning, or before 6:30, because I didn't get started until about 6:30, but before 6:30 a.m. this morning, I was able to set up dedicators that are going to bring my business, that are going to boost my revenue, my corporate revenue, going to boost my corporate revenue by almost an extra $2 million coming up in 2022. That's called scaling your business. That's called scaling your business. If you want to know how to scale your business, that's called scaling your business. All right, let's go ahead and start sharing my screen, and let's get started. Because I did promise you all a load board report this morning. But before I do that, let's check back in with YouTube. See what we got going on this morning with YouTube. All right, we're still waiting on some more people to check in on YouTube. They haven't checked in yet. But let's get right started, and we're gonna find something from Dublin, Georgia to Texas as soon as I do the daily review of what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. So let's jump right on that right away. Let's go to our load map and let's take care of our daily review. A daily look at what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability. Okay, this morning we're going to start up here in Washington State. In Washington, we have 1,807 loads available in Washington this morning. And in Oregon, we have 2,131 loads available in Oregon. In California, get my cursor right here. Oh, there it is. In California, we have 2,451 loads available. Down here in Arizona, we have 967 loads available. In Nevada, we have 411 loads available. In Idaho, we have 1,292 loads available. In Montana, there are 512 loads available. In Wyoming, there are 335 loads available. In Utah, there are 1,096 loads available. In Colorado, there are 1,056 loads available. In New Mexico, there are 361 loads available. Back up here in Wyoming, we have 335 loads available. In Montana, we have 512 loads available. Over in North Dakota, we have 173 loads showing available coming out of North Dakota. South Dakota, we have 567 loads available. In Nebraska, we have 747 loads available. In Kansas, we have 918 loads available. In Oklahoma, we have 675 loads available. Down here in Texas, we have a whopping 5,956 loads available this morning in Texas. In Louisiana, we have 1,043 loads available. In Arkansas, we have 2,868 loads available. Oklahoma, 675 loads available. I think I did these. Kansas, yeah, we did that. In Missouri, we have 1,991 loads available. In Iowa, we have 1,302 loads available. In Minnesota, we have 1,473 loads available. In Wisconsin, we have 2,245 loads available. In Illinois, we have 4,432 loads available. A lot of loads up there in Illinois this morning. Coming on down here to, let's say, Mississippi, we have 1,389 loads available. Louisiana, we have 1,042 loads available. In Alabama, we have 3,631 loads available. Going back up to Tennessee, we have 1,888 loads available. Kentucky, 1,941 loads available. Indiana, we have 2,930 loads available. In Michigan, we have 2,465 loads available. Who is out the way here? Up here in New York, we have 2,880 loads available. In PA this morning, I made some money in PA this morning, y'all. We have 3,746 loads available. In Ohio, we have 3,872 loads available. In West Virginia, we have 413 loads available. In Virginia, we have 2,525 loads available. In North Carolina, we have 2,237 loads available. In South Carolina, we have 1,746 loads available. In Georgia, we have 3,059 loads available. In Florida, I made a ton of money this morning in Florida. In Florida, we have 2,543 loads available. Up here in Maine, we have 352 loads available. I don't know if I did New York. If I didn't, it's 2,880 loads available. In Vermont, I have 124 loads available. In New Hampshire, we have 151 loads available. In Massachusetts, we have 1,155 loads available. Rhode Island, 58 loads available. Connecticut, we have 913 loads available. New Jersey, we have 1,740 loads available. Delaware, we have 385 loads available. In Maryland, we have 1,642 loads available. In Alaska, Super Trucker State, for Super Truckers, we have 5 loads. In Mexico this morning, we have 5 loads. That's showing, excuse me. In British Columbia, in Canada, we have 118 loads available out of British Columbia. In Alberta, we have 256 loads available up in Canada. In I'm just gonna call that Saskatchewan. In Saskatchewan, we have 121 loads available. I know I probably messed it up, but that's what I'm calling it. In in Mutaba, we have we got to refresh. Yep, we still have 92 loads available there. In Ontario, Canada, we have 205 loads. In Quebec, we are showing 89 loads up there in the Canadian provinces. All right, so that's a look at what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to freight and load availability with a snapshot of the country. All right, so let's get to our first request. We got a request this morning on YouTube. Look for loads in, coming from D. Wheeler from Dublin, Georgia to Texas. Okay, D. Wheeler, what type of trailer do you have? Okay, you're giving me a state, a place to go look, but give me a trailer. Let me know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for dry van. Am I looking for flatbed? If I'm looking for reefer, now please, no military loads. Don't give me this hard to find stuff like military loads, which is not hard to find because I'm doing research and someone has already found a way to find military loads, and that was Miss Michelle Eastman. She actually found a way to find military loads, and I'm going to do a training session so she can present that herself. So I'm going to have a guest trainer when we do that. All right, so D. Wheeler says van. All right, cool. All right, let's look for what we're looking for again. We're looking from Dublin, Georgia to Texas in a dry van. So that's what we're looking for this morning. Dublin, Georgia to Texas in a dry van. Let's see what we got. All right, let's go to Georgia. Quite a bit of loads in Georgia this morning. Almost 4,000 loads that are coming out of Georgia this morning. Well, a little over 3,000 loads that are coming out of Georgia this morning. So we should be able to find some good loads Georgia to Texas. That's usually a pretty good route. Wait for my system here. Here we go. All right, there we go. Now let's go to Dublin. You did say Dublin, Georgia, right? I think he said Dublin, Georgia. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's Georgia. Yeah, that's Georgia. Yeah, that's Georgia. Come on, get this out the way. All right, Dublin, Georgia. All right, let's go to, there it is right there. Dublin, Georgia, and he wants to go to Texas. Look up Texas. All right, Dublin, Georgia to Texas, and he's got to drive in. All right, see what we got. All right, so we're looking for Dublin, Georgia to Texas in a drive-in. Really? Nothing? Wow. Okay. Nothing that's coming out of, let me give it a little bit, go 50 miles out from Dublin. All right. You got some stuff that's going, but nothing with rates on it. Nothing that's showing the rates right now. Hold on. Let me increase this mileage out again. You may have to do some deadheading to find a load out of Dublin going to Texas this morning. All right. Still, we don't have anything that's showing the estimated rates. Am I in the right account? First of all, let me check to make sure I'm in the right account. Make sure I'm in the right account. Let me do this. Let me pull out that, see what's leaving out of Dublin going anywhere. Yeah, I'm in the right account because the rates are showing, but I don't have anything. It's not showing anything that's going to Texas from Dublin, Georgia, that has rates showing right now. There are loads that are going. Let's do Texas, and let's do a radius of Texas. Let's say within 100 miles of Texas. Still nothing. 50 miles and 100 miles of Texas. All right. You got some stuff that's leaving it out of within 56 miles, 37 miles, 43 miles, and 43 miles of Dublin, which is in Macon, Sanderville, Videla, Georgia, leaving out of there, going to points in San Antonio, Houston, Laredo, and here's another one going to Laredo. But there are no rates showing. They're by Trinity Logistics and Landstar and Epic Logistics. Now, you got to call these companies to get the rates. Now, the question is, what are the rates right now in that area? So here's what I do when I have this right here. Now, if you are a beginner and you're new and you quite don't know what the rates are doing, what the average rates are doing, you're going to use one of our sources, okay? And one of the sources that we have is our CNTMS source that does Now, let me show y'all what that looks like. Let me log into my CNTMS thing here. CNTMS dashboard. All right, go to my CNTMS dashboard, and then we'll do a All right, this is my CNTMS dashboard, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a rate. We're gonna look up a carriers rates. We're gonna look up and what's called an Insta rate. Okay. All right. We're picking up in Dublin, Georgia. We're picking up in Dublin, Georgia. And we're gonna put in, let's say, just Texas. We're not gonna put in a see if I can put in just Texas, USA. And we're gonna say it's a drive-in. This is a pretty good tool, y'all, in case y'all have never used it before. It's a pretty good tool. And we're gonna get the rates. All right. All right. According to InstaRate, the rates right now for that lane, line haul rates, the lane, that on average is $278. Okay, that's the average. Okay, that's in the middle range. Okay, well, the average is around 278. All right, so here's what you have right now. Okay, see right here, that's your average line haul range. All right, on the low end, you should be asking for no less than $2.27 per mile. On the high end, you could probably get up close to 379, 380 per mile. And on average, most carriers have been getting for that route in the last 3 months, last 90 days, it's been $2.78 per mile for a dry van. Those rates are going to pay you on the high end of that 379. You can probably ask for around $4,700 to run a load from Dublin, Georgia to just about anywhere in Texas. In the middle range, $3,505. Okay, now I know I haven't shown you all this a lot on the load board report because normally we look at freight that has the rates that's already posted. But when you come across loads that don't have rates posted, this is a good way to go in and assess what the rates are paying on those lanes. So here's what I would do. Me personally, I would go for the high. Start your negotiations out here. I'm going to go ahead and say 380, 385. I'll go ahead and say and try to get 385 on those lanes that's not showing any rates. You see them right here? Because you have this one. This one is 1,165 miles, right? 1,226 miles. All these are close. All these are 1,000 miles or more. Okay, with the closest, and plus you got the lowest deadhead you're gonna have is 37 miles, right? So all of these are gonna be over 1,000 miles that you got to travel. That's the reason why you're gonna ask for that 385. Why? Because you gotta let these brokers know. Say, hey, first of all, I got a deadhead to go get the load, right? Then I got to do another 1,100 miles or 1,200 miles plus, which is going to take me pretty much all the rest of the week. And today is what? Thursday. So I'm going to have to run today, tomorrow, and Saturday to get that load there by Monday. Okay? We got a ship date of the 20th, which is the day on this one. This one leaves on the 21st. This leaves on the 21st. That one leaves on the 21st. So, if you got a ship date, that right there, when they're looking to have that delivered by, they want it delivered by when? Delivery date, they don't have one because it's such a long run. But you got to let them know that I'm going to have to run through the weekend in order to get that load there by Monday. Because chances are the shipper is not open until Monday. So that means you got to, run loads all week, got to run a load all weekend to get there by Monday, right? And then you eating up time on your what? On your clock. Unless you're going to run on today, tomorrow, and then run a little bit on Saturday, get there shut down for the 34 hours, because you got to be stuck there for at least 34 hours, or at least until they open back up on Monday. So this is why you're going to ask for that $35 per mile in the rate. So with that being said, if you're asking for that $35 per mile, I'm sorry, $3.85 per mile. That's what I would ask for on 1,100. What is that? 1,165 trip miles. So let's go to the calculator. And you're gonna ask for. Here is what I would ask for. I'll ask for 385. 1,100 trip miles. That's what I'll be asking for, 4,235. Okay, 4,235 is what I will be asking for. So, and see what that gives you breakdown. Let's say what was it, 4,235. All right. This one I will be asking for $4,235. I don't know why it's not. Okay, recalculate. All right. And there you have it. If you ask for that, that's going to be about your fuel cost right there, $615. The other cost, $664. I don't know why they put this other cost in there. I guess it's wear and tear on your truck, whatever this and that, cost of maintenance, this and that. And you're gonna gross at about, $2,955. Now they have down here for driver pay in case you're a company and you're just trying to, pay your driver. But that's what you're looking at. Looking at about $3,000 on that run after your cost and everything. So that's why I would ask for that if you're looking for something that's going that route that doesn't have the rates on it. So on all of these loads, right here, if you're going to be calling these people up, on all of these, I'll be asking for that. I'll be asking for 385. I start mine off at 385. Okay, because of the conditions and the situation and where you got to go and and all that type of stuff. So I would go in asking for 385. Now, I mean, if you want to ask for more, ask for more. But that's how I would start my negotiation off. Now, what I like to do when I start my negotiations, I don't go in and I don't throw the first number out. I ask them, what's that load paying? What you got on that load? Right? And then they'll tell me what they got on the load. If what they got on the load is higher than what I'm thinking, of course I'm gonna keep my damn mouth shut about what I'm thinking. Right? If what they got on the load is higher than what you were thinking, keep your mouth shut about what you were thinking. don't take money from yourself. That's obvious. So what you're gonna do in that situation, let's say they come out and say, yeah, we're paying $4.20 per mile on that load. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, that's a lot more than what I was thinking. But my mouth is gonna say, is that the best you can do? Right? That's what my mouth is gonna say. My mind is gonna be thinking, man, that's more than what I was thinking. But my mouth is gonna immediately say, because I've trained myself, no matter what I'm thinking, I've trained myself not to, say anything other than, is that the best you can do? Now, if it's lower than what I'm thinking, I'm gonna say, I gotta have at least 385. If they come and say, well, that load is paying $278 per mile. That's about what the going rate is. 378. They say, yeah, that load is paying 375, 370, 360. That's about on the high end of what that lane is paying. And if they say that, I'm gonna say, well, can you squeeze out 385 per mile? And if they say yes, then I'm good. I'm good. If they say, well, nah, I could probably squeeze out another maybe 5 cents per mile, 10 cents per mile, whatever this is that. Okay, then great. Okay, all right, I can probably do it for that. Let's go ahead and make that happen. That's how you want to do your negotiations on stuff like that. All right. So there you go, D. Willer. Thank you. Michelle just gave me a kind of a what's called a face there. Michelle, I know you probably don't want to be a guest trainer on one of the broadcasts, but hey, you got to explore all your avenues. Who knows? One day you might decide you want to start your own platform. You might discover you have a knack for this. And since you were the one that did the research and found a way to find military loads, coming up on one of our broadcasts, I'm going to go ahead and get with you. I'm going to send you a link or I'm going to contact you through Messenger or I'm going to give you a call. And we're going to set up a training session for you to present your findings on how to find military freight. Okay? It'll just be a short segment, part of our overall training, but it's a good way to get your feet wet into talking to an audience, presenting stuff. Because when you're talking with your carrier, when you're calling up unknown operators, doing cold calls, that's exactly what you're doing. This look, this business is as much about your presentation, your personality, as it is about what your skills are. Okay, it really is. It really is. And there's a showmanship to all of it. Whether you're an instructor, whether you have your own platform, or whether you're live on YouTube, or if you're just calling up owner operators and talking to them, you still have to have a level of showmanship. So there's a level of entertainment value to all of this. That's what sales is. When you are in sales, are you not on stage? Yes, you're on stage. It's showtime. You hear that come from a lot of sales people, especially in car sales. Because I did car sales for about 10 years. I did car sales like early in my younger days. And I did pretty good as a car salesman. I never made less than $60,000 a year selling cars. Because I understood that it was showtime. Every time a customer put up on the lot, and I say, okay, that's my customer. I'm going out to talk to this customer. Once I had zeroed in on a customer and went out there, and you hear car salesmen say this all the time. They're in the showroom. If you're ever in a car sales showroom and one of the salesmen has spotted a customer, you hear them say showtime, because they got to go. They're on. They're on. It's a performance. You got to go out there. You have that showmanship. You got to have that. It's a part of it is entertainment. You have to entertain the customer to keep them captivated on what you're offering. And then you got to sell what it is you're offering. Same thing here. Same thing here. When you're contacting the owner operators, you got to sell it. You got to sell yourself. You got to sell your service. You got to sell your skill set. Okay? So, and I promise you, it'll be okay. You're probably going to enjoy it. You are probably going to enjoy it. But we'll set that up probably coming up next. If you're available, we might be able to do it tonight for tonight's training. A little short, quick segment on tonight's training. But let me know how you want to proceed with that. If you think you need more time, we can set it up for next Thursday night if you want to do that too. But I'm gonna introduce a little short segment on how to find military freight and let you go into telling us how to do that. All right. Anybody else got loads you want me to look up this morning? Remember, if you are an owner operator out there, you don't have a load yet, give me a call, 866-973-6445. 866-973-6445. And let me look up some freight for you this morning. Hey, I'm on a road this morning, y'all. I'm lying not. Well, I found some freight coming out of Florida and coming out of Texas that was some serious money. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about here. I'm just give y'all a quick look at what I was talking about this morning. This morning, like I said, I'm feeling pretty good today. I was able to put 12 owner operators, 12 of my owner operators. I was able to put them on dedicators this morning. So, and now that's 12 owner operators now that the interns don't have to dispatch every morning. I don't have to find loads for every morning, okay? Because now they're on dedicated runs. And my revenue is automating more and more of my revenue. So all I've got to do, and here's all I got to do now, once I get them set up on those dedicated. Because the dedicated runs, I know how much they're paying out on each run. I know how much they're paying. I know how much each of the routes are paying. So all I got to do now is when I go to my Square, I set up what's called a reoccurring invoice. That's all I do. I just set up a reoccurring invoice each week. I don't set it up for each run, each day, because they're running the same runs 5 days a week, all year. They're running the same route, making the same money 5 days a week. So I don't set it up to get paid, each day I send out an invoice. No. Now I set up that weekly invoice. I can even set it up monthly if I want to, because it's a contracted, dedicated route now. I can even set it up monthly instead of weekly. But if you want to get some money every week, you set it up weekly to where you invoice them every week. But now, if you set it up monthly, you have to make sure that your carrier is responsible enough to have the money at the end of the month to pay you. Because carriers would make the money, but like everything else, they're people too, right? They spend money. So if you let them hold on that money for too long, they may have found a way to spend that money, and then they say, oops, I don't have enough money to pay Calvin. it's our dispatch fee this month, right? So you may want to shorten that down to weekly or bi-weekly invoices, because it lessens the chance of them, overpaying on some stuff or buying some other stuff or splurging or whatever the case may be. And now they don't have it in the budget to pay you what they owe you for that month. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I set it up on a week or bi-weekly. You can set it up, your invoice for the month, for them to pay out a month on dedicated, because it's convenient for them to just pay you once a month. But I set mine up weekly and bi-weekly. I usually ask carrier, how do you want to set this up since you're now dedicated? Because this is what I do with carriers once I get them dedicated. Since you're now dedicated and you run the same load every day, 5 days a week, be home every night, you get the same amount of money every week now. And that amount is this, blah, 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 my cut is 10%. So how do you want your invoice? You want me to invoice you each week, or you want to do it every 2 weeks? I don't usually give the option of every month. Now, I have carriers who have requested a monthly invoice. And when they request it, I do it. And I haven't had any problems with those carriers who request that monthly invoice. I haven't had any problems with them paying my firm monthly. Haven't had any problems with them. But I'm just saying, there's a chance out there that you may sign on a carrier to a dedicated, and if you're billing them by the month, people will be people. Things happen. They spend money on stuff, and there's a chance that they may have overspent and not budgeted right, and then they don't have the money in their budget to pay you your full fee of what's owed to you that month. You see what I'm saying? They'll have to wind up doubling up next month. You don't want to get into that type of stuff. All right. So I usually present them with a weekly or bi-weekly. So I set my invoice up for the weekly or the bi-weekly, and then every week or every 2 weeks they pay me automatic. Okay, I don't have to go in. Setting up dedicated saves you so much time. It makes, oh God, it frees up so much of your time. It makes your revenue stream so stress-free, because I don't have to get up every morning and find freight for that particular carrier. These are 12 more carriers now that I do not have to find freight for every morning, or my interns do not have to find freight for every morning. All I've got to do with these new 12 carriers now is check up on them once a month. Check up on them once a month. Call the broker once a month. Call the brokers once a month. See how they're doing. Brokers will give me they'll give me a report on how the shippers, or how the receivers, and how the shipper and the receivers shipper, how the receiver feels about that carrier. They'll give me that report. I don't have to call the shippers. I call the broker. The broker usually gives me, their report on how the shippers feel about that carrier. They love him. He's always on time. He does. Trust me. If the shippers have any problem, they're gonna let the broker know. If the broker's having a problem, when I ask, he's gonna let me know. Right? So that's what makes this so much easier, doing it this way, instead of taking the time to find those dedicated lanes and set those dedicators up. All right. Do we have any new people that have joined us this morning on YouTube? Nope. Well, we got 9 people watching. All right. So let me go ahead and show y'all what I did this morning. The loads might not be on here anymore because I've already scheduled them for pickups, and so they probably took those loads off because they refresh them. But they got plenty more dedicators on here. And let me show y'all what I'm talking about. The ones that I was looking at are probably gone. But on my dry van ones, going van, Florida. And there was Florida to Florida, is what they were. They were all Florida to Florida. It was already within Florida. The people that say you can't make no money in Florida, I don't know what the hell y'all look at that. Let's see. Yeah, the ones that I was looking at, they're gone. Here's another one, a reefer van. I had one that was leaving, that was doing this Miami deal. Because they had some dedicators that were doing Miami to Fort Myers, and they're taking them off now because I got them. They had a bunch more here. Like here's one right here that's going to Baldwin. So see, the ones that were showing the rates, they're pretty much going now because I grabbed, because I had 6 carriers in Florida that put on the Florida run. And so those that were on here that was stringing down here, they're gone now because I grabbed them. But I grabbed them. But there's some more that's still available. Let's see here, 2020, 21, 24, 22nd. All right, here, right here. But spotting these dedicators is not hard. It's not. Because you're going to see a string of them, and you're going to see, like, because today's Thursday, what you're going to have is you're going to have one that may run on the 20th and the 21st, and then it's going to peak back up on the 24th. See like that right there, that Miami to Tampa, Miami to Tampa. See right here, you got Miami to Tampa on the 24th. You got another one on the 24th. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a string of here's one right here. Arbondale, Florida to Baldwin, Florida. Van or reefer on the 20th today, and it's on tomorrow. And then it's probably going to pick back up on Monday. You come down here, you got Miami. Here, let me do this. Let me do destinations. Let me do origins. All right. Click on origins. All right. This is how you look up, stuff that's running from the same place, going over and over again. You're gonna click on your origin, and it's gonna list them by alphabetical order on the origins. Okay. There's that one from Arbondale to Baldwin. Okay, that's a dedicated. Picks up today, and it picks up tomorrow. Okay, that's a dedicated. Doesn't have a price on it, but you all know how to look up the price now. If you're in our back office, you can go to use our Instant tool to look up the lane price on that to see what that's paying. Okay. Then you have here is one right here. To Melanie. Yep. Here's one that runs on the 20th. The one for the 21st is probably already been picked up because now they got it here for the 24th. So it starts by running on Monday. So it's running today. They probably already filled the one for tomorrow, but you see it picks back up on Monday. That Arbondale to Melanie, Florida. So it picks back up on Monday. So that's a dedicated too. Okay. Then you got Arbondale to Miami, Florida. You got one picks up today, which is probably, and the 21st one is probably already picked up. So they got to pick it back up on Monday. So you got to pick it up today and pick it up on Monday. And then here's some more Arbondale to Miami's, Arbondale to Plant City. Same thing. Picks up tomorrow and then on Monday, Friday and then Monday, because they're not going to pick up on the weekend. And then you have the Plant City ones. There's the one from Arbondale to Tampa again that picks back up on Monday. Starts back up on Monday. You got Calhoun to Moorhaven. Okay, that's a different type of load because it does have the price on that one. Moorhaven. And so forth and so forth. Coral Springs. Then you got a bunch of them right here to Lake Mary, Hialeah to Lake Mary. There's a string of them right there. Hialeah to Lake Mary. Now, I'm gonna show you all because here's a string of them, all right? And they're starting on the 24th, on the hold up here. Yeah, the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. Okay, that's a dedicated. That Hialeah to Lake Mary, that's dedicated. Jacksonville to Riviera Beach, that's dedicated. Jacksonville to St. Petersburg, that's dedicated. You know, look at all these dedicated. Kissimmee to Miami, that's dedicated. Lakeland to Miami, that's dedicated. So when people tell you that there are no dedicated, you know, and you can't make money in Florida, I don't know what the hell they be talking about. I really don't. All right. I don't know why people will say or think that you can't find freight in Florida. I don't understand that at all. Not for the life of me. Because there's plenty of freight in Florida if you want to stay in Florida. You can make so much money. So much money in Florida and make money easy in Florida and make money stress-free in Florida because of the sheer dedicated potentials that are just on a low board that you just got to do a little bit of work to set it up. But if you know how to identify it, if you know how to look for and identify these dedicated runs, these can be easily set up and structured so that your carrier can run one, run another one, and run it back home or run it back to the starting point. And not only are you running them like that, but you're running them and you're making money. Let's look at this Lakeland to Miami. Okay, because that's a bunch of dedicateds right there. Well, hold up. Let me find the one that had a whole bunch of them. Hialeah, yeah, to Lake Mary. All right, let's see what the lanes are on that. Hialeah to Lake Mary. Let's check that out. All right, we're looking for Hialeah, Florida to Lake Mary, Florida. Hialeah to Lake Mary, Florida. Let's see what that lane is paying. And that's a van. Yep. That's a van. All right. Y'all see what this lane is paying? Do y'all see what this lane is paying? From Hialeah to Lake Mary. And this is about, you know, what I was getting today on my, So, look, y'all. Hold up. Did I do that right? Hialeah, Florida to Lake Mary, Florida. Yep. All right. Here's what that lane is paying right now. Okay. On the low end. On the low end. Because, you know, these are, you know, what kind of, let's look at the, the distance on this. Because these are generally short runs, 250 miles. Okay. This is why I love short run dedicateds. These are generally short runs. Because they are short runs, they're going to have a high rate per mile value. Okay, this is why you want to do short runs. All right. On just that run by itself, on that dedicated, 250 miles. On the low end, that lane is paying $3.65 per mile. On the high end, it's paying $5.62 per mile. The average is $4.32 per mile. So you should be landing at least around here, $4.32 per mile. Now, if you're a good negotiator, you can go ahead and get that $5.62. Okay. Now, here's another reason why I like short runs. You ain't spending no money on fuel. I mean, you got to spend what, $75 on fuel. $75 on fuel. Come on, y'all. That's that's what you're spending on fuel. $75 on fuel. Okay, that's why I like it. Okay, you spend it on average, 29 to 30 cents, 29 to 34 cents, on your fuel surcharge. And here's the run right here. You're going from up here near Orlando or here, and you're running like that. There's a run. It's just a little, little Florida run, 250 miles. And you got to make it anywhere from $1,155 up to $1,490 per day on just that one run. Now, because you got time enough to run another run, look at what you do. So what you're gonna do with that, if you're gonna grab one of these, let's say these Hialeah to Lake Mary, let's go with the 24th, right? Let's check the reverse search on that, see what they got going back the other way. All right, this is why I love, let me repeat this. This is why I love Florida runs. Y'all see all these reverse searches? Look at this. And every last one of them is less than 100 miles deadhead. You got some here that are less than, like this one right here, this is a 25-mile deadhead to then you're going back toward Miami. That's where, Hialeah is. But Hialeah is Miami, y'all, in case y'all didn't know that. All right, so you go 25 miles, you can pick up this one going back to Miami. And it's the same route, so you're going to be paying about the same money. Okay? And then you got, let's see if we find some dedicated here. You can go 39 miles and pick up a dedicated going back. This is what you want to grab right here. You want to grab this 39 mile, you want to go 39 miles deadhead, right? After you drop in Lake Mary. After you drop in Lake Mary up somewhere around by Orlando, you're going to go 39 miles to Kissimmee. You're going to pick up this load going from Kissimmee back down to Miami. And that's 223 miles. You're going to pick that going back down to Miami, and the rate is going to be about the same. So just on that, let me show y'all something. Just on that back and forth, because you're basically looking at the same lane, just going back and forth. Just on that right there alone, on that pick up, go 39 miles, pick up, then go back home. Come back down to Miami. On the low end, $1,155. On the low end, you're making $2,200 per day. On the average, $2,200 per day on the medium range, which would be $4.32 per mile. On the high end, if you can negotiate that higher $5.62 per mile, lane average on the high end, you're looking at over $3,000 a day. And y'all wonder why I love Florida to Florida short run lanes. On the low end, you're looking at 22 times 2. So you're going to get about the same rate on both of them because they're both the same route. Looking at 22.44 per day times 5 days a week. $11,220 per week times 52 weeks in a year. Anybody think that's not good dry van money? Dry van. We're not talking reefers or flat vans. We're talking dry van money. Does anybody know any dry van carriers out there who would cut off a finger for $583,000 year run, and then subtract your fee, which in my case would be 10%, And you all wonder how I make money dispatching freight. From setting up a lane like that would pay me $58,000 a year. And that's just a quick back and forth. No third run, just up and down, up and back, down and back up. That's it. Home every night. Before 5 o'clock. So you can run 400 some odd miles if you pick it up early that morning and be back before 5 o'clock that evening. If you pick it up like 6 a.m., 6:30, 7 a.m., you'll be back. You'll be done by 5 o'clock. You'll really be done. You'll really be done by 3:30, 4 o'clock. By 3:30, 4 o'clock, you are done. Those are banker's hours. And you're getting paid, doctors paid money. You're getting paid the kind of money that attorneys make and doctors make, on banker hour stuff. Your carrier will be making over $500,000 a year. And you'll be making $58,000 a year as the dispatcher. And that's not even on the high end. Now let's look at the high end. On the high end, let's look at the high end. On the high end, we got $1,490. So $1,490 on the high end. If you can negotiate that on that back and forth route, $1,490 times 2, $1,490. If you can negotiate that going up and back, you're looking at $2,980 per day. $2,900 per day times 5 days a week. $14,900 per week times 52 weeks of the year. I'm gonna give y'all a little moment of silence so y'all can think about that there for a second. Now, while you're thinking, remember that's dry van. Also remember that's Florida, where they say you can't make no money in Florida. But that ain't none of my business. I'm like Kermit. Nah, I don't have my teeth, but I got some cold coffee back here. That ain't none of my business. Right? You can't make no money in Florida. Man, don't go to Florida. You can't make no money in Florida. I'm just putting loads off the load board. I'm not calling direct shippers. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just putting loads off the load board, recognizing them for what they are, identifying the dedicated. Then I contact those brokers, and then I set up a Zoom, and I show the brokers how they can interconnect their loads to make their day easier, make the carrier easier, the shipper satisfied, I'm satisfied, everybody's happy. Put it in writing. Let's ride out, make some money. There are dispatchers, and then there's owner-op business managers. I'm the latter. What are you all? What do you want to be? Do you want to be dispatchers or do you want to be owner-op business managers? Because dispatchers make less than $100,000 a year. 50, 40, 30, whatever this is. Owner-op business managers make this kind of money on one dedicated lane. That minus 10%. Owner-op business manager makes that kind of money on one doggone dedicated lane. You got $58,000 on one lane, and on the low end you got $58,000. On the high end you got $77,000, almost $77,500. Your cut on a dedicated lane that you set up from the load board in Florida for a dry van. Where everybody say you can't make no money. Let's see what y'all got to say on this. How do you quote the load by the ton? Oh, I mean, I usually don't get into quote by the ton unless it's a a heavy load, like heavy, like over like heavy haul. Okay. I don't get the quote. I quote by the mile. I don't quote loads by the ton unless it's heavy or if I'm running in the mountains. Okay. If you're, and that's when you got to know your truck. You got to know your truck. Okay. You got to know the truck. So you got to need the input of the owner operator to figure out what type of truck they have, if it's governed, you know, what model truck they're driving, what type of horsepower, what type of torque it has, and that type of stuff. Because when you're in the mountains, all that comes into play. All that comes into play when you're in the mountains. Because a truck that doesn't have as much torque as another truck is not gonna, it's gonna go very, very slow going up them doggone hills when it comes to what? The weight. A truck that has higher torque is gonna be able to pull that load smoothly and it's gonna have a consistent pace going up a hill. That's why when you be on the mountainous roads, you see some trucks, they creeping and they over there in the far right lane and they have that their flashes on. But you have other trucks who are loaded too, they'll just ease right on past. Because the ones over there in that far right lane, they have them low torque, you know, they don't have the same type of torque. You see what I'm saying? So for that reason, I don't really get into quoting by the ton, but you got to know your truck. If once you know what your truck can pull, and you got to get an average of how you run in the mountains. So there's a lot that goes into play when you're trying to quote by the if you're gonna quote, if you're properly gonna quote by the ton. Now, if you're just gonna just guesstimate, like throw some rocks out there, yeah, you can guesstimate and say, well, if I'm pulling more than, you know, if I'm pulling more than 8 tons or 10 tons or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna need this much money by the ton. Who does that? Go by the look, figure out what it's gonna cost you on fuel, what your truck burns on fuel in the mountains. If you're on flatlands or if you're in Florida, there's no need to quote by the ton. Because it's, I mean, you're running mostly downhill any doggone way, or you're running flat. So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. If you're in the mountains, yeah, you're going to be quoted by the tons. If you're in the mountains, if you're doing heavy hauls. A lot of heavy haulers, but see, if you're doing real heavy hauls, like I had a haul back in, was it 2000? No, it was this past year. It was in 2020. And it was in April of 2020. And that's the month I made over $30,000, $34,000 in 1 month. The reason why I made that kind of money in 1 month, because I had a heavy haul load where a carrier had to pull one of those big wind turbines. Y'all know I'm talking about, the big, the windmills, the turbine part of it. I mean, it's huge. It's huge, right? You got to have like a special type of trailer that has like 3 or 4, you know, like special weighted flatbed trailers that's hooked together, and you got the clamps on it, and you have to clamp that thing. But anyway, the truck has to pull that big old thing, and it had to go across 3 states. Had to pull across 3 states. Now, the thing about that was your quote had to have included in it what it's going to cost for law enforcement to shut down certain routes on certain days at a certain time. So everything had to be timed out perfect. Because you can't have law enforcement sitting there at some country road waiting for the carrier to show up and the carrier is 3 hours late. Why? Because you're paying that, for law enforcement getting paid like $100 a doggone hour to do that. Sit there and shut down that road. And you don't just got to pay the law enforcement, you got to pay the city, you got to pay that county, you got to pay, you know, whatever area is going through for the money and the revenue loss for that truck coming through there. They have to shut down traffic. Business is not going to be able to get businesses up, you know, trying to get through that spot. It's going to take that truck a while to get, you know, to navigate through certain towns to get there. So you got to find routes that don't take them through populated areas, but you're never going to be able to find, you know, a route that's going to take them through 3 states, but it's not going to go through some type of town. So you got to coordinate that with each of the different law enforcement bases, not only because you can't just have just an escort to do that. You got to have law enforcement in those areas at those strategic points to shut down traffic, block traffic, shut down traffic, and navigate, you know, and direct that truck in and out of that municipality. So your timing's got to be pretty much perfect. You got to do your timing. You gotta do all this different logistics ranging with different law enforcement agencies and all that type of stuff. Now, suffice to say, that's a lot of money because that carrier was paid $200 and I think $292,000 to make that haul, and I got my 10%, which is like 29. So like out of that $34,000 that I made that month, $29,000 of it came from that one haul. And that was a heavy haul. I've only done 2 of those. I've only dispatched 2 of those. Well, I've only dispatched one. I brokered one. I've brokered one of those, and I've dispatched one of those in my career. Okay. Now, if you're doing it by the ton, yeah, you can do it with sand, gravel. They also do it with peanuts. Believe it or not, here in Bainbridge, Georgia, they have a peanut run where they have these big bushels. They put these bushels on your dry van. They also pay by the ton. Okay, because the peanuts get heavy, especially when they come in them big bags and bushels. They also do that when it comes to paper. Those big rolls of paper, they do that also when it comes to those big rolls of paper. You'll see the way it's priced out. It's by the ton or by the roll, because each roll weighs the same thing. Those big. I don't know if anybody of y'all have ever transported paper rolls, because those paper rolls is very dangerous. Because for one thing, you got to go in there. You got to make sure you have that stuff strapped down and tied, and you got to put the braces up, all type of stuff inside your van. Because as you're running, if you have to stop fast, guess what? That paper, it rolls. Because it's on rolls. So when you put it in, and no matter how you put it in, if you put it in like this or you put it in like this, you got an inherent danger. Because if you put it in like this, that's even worse. So you put it in like this, and you're going around a curve, or you got to make a sharp turn, that paper rolls, and that van leaves one side, that van will trip right on over. If you put it in like this, and if you stop short, like if somebody cuts you off, you have to stop short, then it's going to roll forward. The momentum is going to carry it forward, which is going to do what? Which is going to push your vehicle even more. I'd rather place it in like this than to place it like this. Because if you place it like this, there's a greater chance of you having to go around curves, especially if you're doing those downhill runs, you're going around curves, that paper's going to lean and the momentum is going to carry it, and you may flip your trailer over. I can deal with braces. I can brace it enough, and I control my drive and keep my distance far enough from other cars. So if someone does happen to pull in front of me, I just slow down and increase my distance from them again. So in case something does happen, I can control whether it's rolling forward or not, whether it's pushing me forward. But I can't really control that going around a curve and that bad boy leaning like that right there. I've seen a lot of drivers make that mistake. They have the paper put in like this, where it's going, where the roll is going like that, rather than having it going in like this, where the roll is going like that. And then what you do is, because when you're doing it like that, all you do is you put your braces behind each roll. It's kind of like building a firewall behind each set of rolls of paper. You're gonna create a fire. You're gonna create like a not a firewall, but what's what I'm looking for? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The thing that goes behind the load to keep the load from going back and forth. So you're gonna put your braces in, and you're gonna build those in on after each section of rolls that go in. So if it does roll, it's gonna hit that. It's gonna go up against that brace, and you want to put your straps around each. You gotta have a lot of straps. But what you want to do is you want to strap it, come back in, and strap that one. Then you want to come in, you want to strap that one, then you come back in, and you want to strap this roll too. So you strap them all to the sides of the trailer. You strap them, and then you brace them. That way, if you have to stop short, it doesn't. It limits that forward momentum. It limits that. Low bars, thank you. Low bar, yeah, you put your low bars in. So you gotta have your low bars. You gotta put your low bars in and stuff like that. Cause look, driving a truck is, I mean, it takes some skill. You got to know what you're doing now, especially with different type of, I've done it all. In driving with Covenant, I have ran just about every kind of load you can think of, because Covenant, boy, they keep you running, they keep you running, they keep you running. Okay, if you ain't afraid to drive, if you ain't afraid to go in the mountains, to go anywhere in the country, Covenant will keep you running. They pay you damn good as a company driver. 63 cents a mile is what me and my partner was getting. 63 cents a mile. And we was averaging about 78, 7,950 miles per week. Do the math. We make some money for some doggone company driver. We make some money. We make good money for company drivers. All right. But I also got great experience, which aids me now in what I do now, because I do consulting and you know, pretty much. You asked me about pretty much in the subject. I can give you some great input on it. All right, but look, that's how you make money in Florida. So for those people who are saying you can't make money in Florida, for those people who are saying you cannot make money in Florida, there you have it. 700 and you know $774,000 lanes in Florida right now. You know, minus your cut, $77,480. Look, if you found that lane and you found another lane, just on 2 lanes alone, you're over $100,000. So I don't see why people are so astounded when I tell them that when I show them the kind of money that I make and my company makes dispatching freight. Because if you want to make serious money, you got to get serious about your money. If you want to make serious money, you got to get serious about your business of making money. And that's what we do here at the RBBS Logistics Learning Center. We show you all, we teach you all, we train you all how to make serious money. But we train you all to be serious about your money. We train you all to be serious about this industry. We train you all to be serious about finding the right type of loads and going that extra step and creating these lanes, identifying these lanes, and then showing you all how to create these lanes and get them on contracted paper, get the brokers together and contract these lanes, and then you can make some great money without having all the stress. This is a business. This is a business. And what's the point of going into business if you're not trying to make a ton of money? I don't see the point in it. Yeah, there are the majority of dispatchers don't do $100,000 a year. The majority of them. But I'm not one of them. Our students, we don't train them to be one of the majority. That's not how we train. Other dispatch trainers train you to just go look for freight. Train you to find the highest dollar, the load that's paying, they got the highest dollar amount. They train you to look for this what? They train you to look for this what? This pay rate. That's what they train you. They train you to look for the pay rate. We don't train you to look for the pay rate. They train you to look for that right there, that number right there. We're training you to look for this number over here. Because this number over here, if it's a high pay rate, chances are it's a low, trip mile. Chances are it's dedicated. You see what I'm saying? Chances are it's dedicated. When you got the same pickup, same destination. And if it's dedicated, and you can find another one that's dedicated, you can create a dedicated lane, both up and back. Okay? You can create those dedicated lanes both up and back. So that's how you do, how you locate dedicated lane. And not just in Florida. You can do this in Texas, you can do it in California, you can do it but Florida is uniquely, has a unique inherited trait of a lot of dedicated lanes. Because of the way Florida is. Florida, there's a lot of Florida to Florida loads. Okay. Florida is uniquely situated and ideal for dedicated lanes. It really is. If I just put in here Florida to Florida, take out this right here, if I just put in let's say Florida, the entire state, and then go Florida again, the entire state, and then we do a search on that on just van loads, and look at the kind of money, and let's look at the money. Look at the kind of money that they're paying on these Florida to Florida loads. Okay. And these are dry vans, y'all. These are just dry vans, by the way. These are dry vans. Okay. This is just Florida to Florida. All Florida to Florida loads, dry van. It's all dry van. If you want to see how many dedicateds there are in the state of Florida, let's go by origin. Dedicated, 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 dedicated. That's a Halal to Lake Mary again. There's one coming to Tallahassee. Dedicated, Jacksonville to Riviera Beach. Dedicated, Jacksonville to St. Petersburg. Dedicated, Kissimmee to Jacksonville. Dedicated, Kissimmee to Miami. Dedicated, Lakeland to Miami. Dedicated, Largo to Orlando. And this is just looking on the load board. Dedicated, South Bay to Palmetto. Dedicated, South Bay to Plant City. Dedicated, Spring Hill to hold on here. Is that Homestead? No, not that one. Dedicated, Tampa to Opaka. Dedicated, Tampa to Doral. Dedicated, Tampa to Lakeland. Tampa to Orlando. I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, come on. That's but you can't. But you can't find no load. You can't make no money in Florida. Don't go to Florida. No, you can't make no money. I don't know what else to tell y'all. All right, y'all. That's gonna do it. Hey, I've had a great morning this morning. I mean, I woke up. I know I was late, but I was late for a reason. I was making money. I mean, look, y'all. Today, oh man, today alone. Oh, God, I get goosebumps thinking about how much money I made this morning. Not just for the day, but for the year. Because I set them up on dedicated. You know, like I said, you know, and this is how you really make money in the industry of dispatch. This is why I do the load board report, to show you all in real time how this stuff works, to show you all in real time the kind of money you can make, and if it's done the right way. Okay, just like I'm doing this, I can train you all to do the same thing. I can train just about anybody to do the same thing. Now, anybody who wants to join our platform, the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers, the National Dispatcher Network, because our platform doesn't just do training. We provide you the tools, the resources, and a network to make this happen. And in doing that, that saves the people who join our platform on average $400 to $600 per month on load boards, on direct shippers, on owner-operator locator sites. All that stuff is included within our platform. Okay, access to more than 100 load boards, access to more than 19 million plus shippers, access to owner-operator locator site, access to all your documents, contracts, agreement forms, everything you'll need to run your dispatch firm, all your freight brokerage firm, access to access to sample dispatch agreement, access to a sample shipper onboarding site for brokers, access to logistics library, has every word, phrase, term ever used in trucking, access to our network of 2,967 industry professionals plus industry professionals, and on top of all that, live training. on top of all that, live training. Okay, that's what you get when you join our platform. And you can join our platform by going here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and post this right now on what's called training in the convenience of your home. Post this on YouTube for you all to see. Well, come on now, stop doing that. All right, copy that. And post this to you all on YouTube. If you want to join our platform, this is where you go. Oh, too many words. Too many words. Too many words. Too many words. Let's see if I got enough room to put in the website address. Oh, too many words. Online training will train you to earn 100K plus home. Take out a couple of words here. All right, there we go. All right. There it is with the link right there. If you all want to join our platform, that's how you go and join our platform. Click that link, that'll take you over and give you your options on how you can join our platform. Look, I don't know what else I don't know what else to say. You know, this has been the Logo Board Report. I thank you all for joining us. Let me go ahead and acknowledge all the people who have joined us this morning. We have D. Willer, thank you for joining us. Michelle Eatman, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Who else we had this morning? Styles Cushton, thank you for joining us and your input and your questions. I appreciate all of y'all for joining us. We had a total of I think 9. At one time, we had 12 people watching this morning on YouTube. The rest of them didn't check in. And remember, tomorrow is Friday, which is our last day for the Logo Board Report. This week, and then we'll pick back up on Monday on the Logo Board Report. Now tonight we have for our members, we have dispatch training from 7 p.m. to about 8:30, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't forget, those of you who are part of our platform, to join us tonight at 7 p.m. for our live dispatch training on our same Zoom link and everything. And we have our live dispatch training tonight. Tonight, dispatch training is, last week we did locating owner operators. Tonight is, what do y'all think tonight is? Because after you locate owner operators, you got to do what? You got to pitch them. Got to get them signed up, the pitch. Tonight is the pitch. So tonight, we're going to be going over our script, our pitch. Mr. Owner Operator, how much money do you need to move your truck? That's the title of our pitch. How much money do you need to move your truck? So tonight, we'll be going over the pitch and how to deliver that pitch and how to increase your closing percentages on your sales, the things you should be doing in practicing your pitch and how you should be practicing your pitch and how you should be doing that. The things that you should be doing that are going to help you to increase your closing averages. Okay, so that's what we're doing tonight. Is the pitch. All right, don't forget to join us 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here tonight for the pitch. Okay, Ms. Eatman says contact. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, Silas she'll be there. He says contact. Thank you. Yeah. I'll get in contact with you, Ms. Eastman, to go over what we're going to do as far as when, and we're going to have you to do that presentation on finding military freight. So I will be contacting you shortly after I get off here. I got some things to do with my dogs and get the house situated. I gotta redo my fire in my fireplace because it's cold out here in Florida this morning. So I got to redo my fire, go outside to bring some more firewood in and things like that. But I will call you shortly here today, and we'll make those arrangements for you to be a guest instructor on one of our training sessions. Thank you all. I appreciate all of you all. Don't forget, Saturday, we have our dedicated broker training every Saturday morning, 10:15 a.m. Tomorrow, Logo Board Report, 6 a.m. unless I get tied up. I'm gonna do it regardless. I might get tied up with my carriers or something, but I try to make sure I have the load board report for y'all every weekday morning. Look at what's going on in your neck of the woods when it comes to load and freight availability. So I appreciate y'all. I thank you all for joining us as always. And I'm always here, welcoming you all to my home and everything. As y'all can see here, I'm here in my home. We got my dogs over there. Where they at? They're over there somewhere. They're over there somewhere. So I appreciate having you all here. Join me here and showing you all how to make money, how to make real money, good money. I don't know what other freight brokers and dispatch trainers do, but I can tell you and show you what I do. So and I can show you how to do the same thing. Thank you all. I appreciate y'all for joining us. See y'all back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. And I see some of you all tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all have a great day. This has been Calvin with the RBBS Logistics Learning Centers and the National Dispatchers Network. See y'all when I see you. Bye, everybody.